Everybody, welcome back to the off ramp. I am your host, Thomas Jason Anderson. It's Friday, guys. And man, what a week have we had this week. I wanted to do a quick, just a rundown on Fridays. I guess I'm going to do every Friday, just a rundown of what went on this week, especially from the off ramp perspective. It was just a massive week, and there's still news breaking. So, first of all, I wanted to just there was an idea I've been having over the past few days. It's a little hard to express, so hopefully I can do it right now on video. But I was thinking, we're in a position now in transition in the world where the world is changing so much. Our lives, the way we knew them before, will never be the same. So in that transition, we have a future to look forward to while we're living in the present. And I feel like where some of us are making our mistake is we are we're trying to change the past in order to gain the future, and it's impossible. The past is the past, and we're never going to change that. And so I think we have to get more into a mindset of, in order to get in order to move forward, we're going to have to start letting go of the past and stop trying to change it. We can't, if tomorrow is someone's version of a corrected yesterday, then we ain't making it, right? And I think that's where a lot of us, we're making that mistake. We're thinking, hey man, if we can just go back, if we can just fix a few things, then tomorrow will be so much better. But the thing is whatever happened in the past, it doesn't apply to tomorrow. It really doesn't. I know everyone thinks it does because, hey, if you forget the past, no one's forgetting it. It's when you're trying to change it, when you're trying to make a future based off of a changed past, that you go wrong, right? So I think we should, I'm, at least me, in my personal life and professional life, I'm trying to embrace the opportunities coming forward. I've personally taken my own leaps of faith here. I've created my own platform here. I mean, I looked on on YouTube. I have people calling me crazy for my takes, and I understand how people could think, oh man, this guy has to be something's wrong with him because what he's saying isn't what everyone else is saying, and he's so sure of himself, but nobody knows who he is. How could someone this sure of himself be saying these big things and no one know who he is? Well, that's today's world we're in. We're going to start seeing more people like me and others who are popping up on the scene. It seems like we're coming out of nowhere. We're not. We've been here the entire time. We've been here the entire time. It just wasn't our time. Now is our time. And that's why a lot of what I'm saying now is hitting people kind of hard. And it's like, it's a little bit of a wake up call. And so if you look at the news this week, let's talk about some of the wake up calls that we've got going on, right? So it's pretty obvious that now that that Delcy Rodriguez and the Chavistas are now working alongside the Americans. Now we've got a total shift in the Caribbean. Okay, that's, I don't know, man. The news really isn't reporting this enough, I don't think, because we've all lived our lives to this point where in Venezuela, that was totally anti-American for as long as all of us have been alive, basically, right? So we go from that reality to an entirely new reality where not only is Venezuela working with the United States, but the people in Venezuela who were fighting the United States their entire lives, they're the ones working with the United States. And so I don't know if people are realizing how big of a difference this is and what this means in the region. Holding on to the old narrative of, the Cuban Revolution and the Communist Revolution, and how, the that whole revolution is around to counter the imperialist, the American, the greedy American capitalist machine or whatever. Man, that's all over. Fidel's gone. The guys running that place now are not true communists. Fidel wasn't even really a true communist if you really look at, his who he was and what he was doing. And so really, and this is a little bit of a failure on the media's part, But I think this week is proving in the news that the region, Venezuela, Cuba, the Caribbean region, it has devolved over the last 10 or 15 years where the communist ideology has just melted away and turned into almost a criminal enterprise ideology where these guys are focused on getting rich. They are masters of smuggling, drugs, whatever you name it, and gold, whatever. And the communist guys just really after Fidel passed went away, they've been focused on get on their pockets. They've been focused on getting rich. Yeah, they're still counting the United States, but it was in the lens through the lens of we're going to battle the United States by getting rich and making them poor, that kind of a thing. So because of that, once you take away Maduro, one of the kingpins here, people have to adjust there. And really, the communists, since it's not a real ideology anymore, since the Castro regime is gone, and they're really only there to get paid, it's much better just to work with the United States and get paid legitimately than to risk your life and be under sanctions and be running for your life. And you can't travel where you want to travel because you're making even less money doing it illegitimately. And that's sort of basically the cat that's out of the bag now. Is people are realizing, and people always knew, but they're realizing more and more now that there was a lot of money to be made legitimately in Venezuela. Maduro didn't need to create the situation he created down there. It didn't have to happen. And the way you know that is the communists there now working with Trump. So it didn't have to happen that way. You know, corruption set in, basically. And so anyway, we're moving forward now. And so what do we see? Trump is saying flat out, Cuba's next. Yes, Cuba's next. Nothing to prompt them up anymore. They're next, right? Let me check my comments. Hey, Chin Sang, what's up? Thank you. Good night. Bless. Thank you. Anyone have any comments or anything? I'm in the comments now. I use my phone for the comments on this thing. It's I don't know, when it comes to the computer thing, we have to up our tech here. But yeah, so Cuba's next. And yes, that's the reality. And so I think it would behoove us all in the region to just accept the reality here that the communist ideology is gone. It's over. That doesn't mean that the capitalists won. Nobody won or lost here. I think a lot of people created this fake war in their minds. No one has won or lost. Though the communist ideology has melted away, it doesn't have a place anymore. It used to have a stronghold in Cuba. It had a stronghold in Venezuela. They've been routed and run out of there. So it's gone. And what we have next, we have to make ourselves, all of us together. I'm not against communism. If there are island nations, if Cuba wants to stay communist and their people vote for that, then fine, whatever, man. But I think, the whole point here is let's get away from the smuggling. Let's get away from the criminality. Let's get away from the corruption in the region. And let's all get together and focus on having real representative government in whatever form we see fit. And as brothers and sisters, we should support ourselves in that. Just because I'm here in Miami doesn't mean I can't support someone in Guyana who may want more of a communist system, not just in Guyana, but other places in the Caribbean. I can support people who want that. I don't have a problem with that, right? And the people here who used to have a problem with that, or the old people here who still do have a problem with that, the Cold War types, they're all retiring. They're moving out. So the future here is not one of an extension of the Cold War. It's not, the Americans battling the communists in the Caribbean. Nah, man, it's all of us coming together, and it's all of us working together to create the best representative governments that represent all of us. And when we join each other in that, because I understand capitalism may not be best for everybody. Some places may need a dictatorship. It's fine. Whatever the system is best for that culture and those people, fine. We can work with that. We should be working with that. We should be pushing people to want to have that. But in order to do that, we have to let go of the past. We can't change the past. All we can do is write a future that's unique to ourselves and fits what we need. We have to let go of the past. So yeah. Hey, Alexis. Well, I don't know if it's new. That's to say I'm saying things everyone knows. I don't know if I'm saying everything that things that everyone does. Everyone know that that communism is gone in the Caribbean and that Cuba is next and they're going down. I don't know. So the other news that happened in Guyana, and for those Americans who are watching, big news in Guyana is still going. The extradition case with the Mohammeds, that has a major impact on us politically. People, it's hard to understand how it does, but it does. Um, that's coming to a wrap now with the Mohammeds. Yes, it's going to take a little while longer. Yes, the Mohammeds are playing the court system in Guyana to the fullest, which is their right to do. I support it. I've never been against that. Um, and the process has seemed fair to me so far, more than fair. But ultimately, hopefully, this ends in some type of resolution for all of us, the United States, the grand jury who indicted the Mohammeds, and for the people of Guyana. And it's good that it's happening. Yeah, it's drawn out, but it's good that everyone can see that it is a fair process to the Mohammeds. It really has been a fair process. Um, hey, Ann John, how's it going? I haven't talked to you in a while. Yeah, so maybe what I'll do is I'll pull up some stuff here. I'll do a screen share and let you guys just see like um sort of what I here's it. I just have it on George Report here, but we can look at some of the bigger things, and this is a big deal, right? Right here. Oil surging 35%. Like I was telling you guys before, this the increase in the price of oil is a huge benefit to not only the people of Guyana, but the people of America. Like I know people think, "Oh, man, price that'll mean gas goes up." I understand, but the prices of gas of oil going up is a big benefit right now. I know that sounds weird, but it really is, and especially to the people of Guyana. You guys are going to see a big, big improvement in the amount of money that's going to be coming in from the oil revenue, right? And if I'm not mistaken, I saw some reports this week where oil companies now are going in like gangbusters to try to get as many projects started as possible within the Stabroek field, like the fields of oil that are out there with Guyana, because they see the price of oil has gone up. It's already, I think, the oil in Guyana right now costs about $35 a barrel to pull up out of the ocean, somewhere around there. But with the prices going up this high now, it's making it so that almost every operation out there for Guyana is going to be massively profitable, which means the people of Guyana are seeing a huge boost in revenue coming in from oil. Yes, Jason, absolutely. The U.S. big, huge. This is big for us because while our adversaries and others around the world who don't want to see us do well are struggling with the oil prices going up, they're also struggling with supply because of the situation in the Middle East. Our situation is stable and getting better, and Guyana has been a big part of that. The Venezuela situation is a big part of this. I've even seen the oil situation expanding out. They're looking to get some oil stuff done in Jamaica and other islands as well in the Caribbean. So, so we've got that there. Russia and the Iranians are threatening nukes now, which I'm not surprised about. Trump is talking about using U.S. troops on the ground in Iran. I don't. When I see that, I think that's just. I don't think that's going to happen, guys. If it does, it would be special forces, right? Similar to what happened with Maduro. But I just, it's hard for me to see us having like a real deployment of tanks and all of that stuff in Iran. I don't think I don't think that happens, guys. Qatar is warning that oil could double, right? Oil could double. It could double, right? Like we are at that place now, um, where we're going to see every mask is going to be coming off here. Okay. Uh, every mask is coming off. All of the companies, oligarchs, individuals who have been thriving off of the criminal syndicate international marketplace, the masks are coming off. I think we're going to see a lot of people, businesses, and individuals who everyone sees as legit going down because Trump has totally just dismantled this international criminal syndicate of stuff. Is what I call it. I mean, it's several groups that have all grouped together over the years, and it's all circled around these sanctioned countries like Iran, Venezuela, North Korea, and Trump has dismantled it. So we're going to see it in the regular world for us. Yeah, oil prices may double. That's good news for the people of Guyana. That's excellent news. In other words, you guys are going to get double the oil revenue. And the reason why that's really good news for you guys right now is because in the oil contract with Exxon, the front end of the contract is heavy loaded to cover for the cost of the oil uh, operations. It's all front loaded. And so for oil prices to double now, what's going to happen is it's going to clear the decks for the cost of the drilling of the oil. And once that happens, you guys are going to get a massive increase. This is when the amount of revenue coming in becomes exponential for your nation. It's going to happen faster than you guys thought because oil prices are probably going to double here. Yeah. Yeah. See, it's important that you guys, I'm doing this because it's important that you guys get ready and get prepared for what's coming because what's coming for our region, there will be some hardships, but there are going to be some massive opportunities. And one of the biggest opportunities is what's happening with oil for all of us. Like I said to you guys before in Guyana, your contract with ExxonMobil is front loaded. It's front loaded. So for oil prices to double right now means you guys are going to clear that front load cost way faster than you thought before, which means you guys are going to unlock the exponential revenue like way sooner than you ever thought. And on top of that, more and more companies want to drill for oil because of the political situation, because of the security and safety, the ability to safely and securely uh, drill for oil at a low cost. Big deal. It's actually allowing the world to stay stable while a necessary conflict occurs. And what's happening in the Middle East is a necessary conflict. This has been brewing for a long time. One way or the other, a bunch of bad guys were going to come to blows, and that's what we're seeing now. Right? Hey, Glenford, good evening, man. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Jason. Hey, Michael. So Michael's asking, Michael Patty asks, what's your take on how this war ends? Man, so the way I see the war ending is China is going to get involved because up until now, they've stayed in the shadows and they've played as the puppet master, using other countries like Iran and Pakistan and others to sort of do their bidding for them. And that can't work anymore. Okay. They're going to have to step it up and China's going to have, here's what I see. I think China's going to put boots on the ground in Iran. I think we're going to see Chinese troops in the Middle East. And I think that's going to open a totally new dynamic to the region that has always existed, but it existed with China being a shadow player, not like an on stage player. So they've been able to reap the benefits of the Middle East without having to take on any of the negative harms of being publicly involved. Right. Because when you're out there publicly involved, you can get embroiled and caught up into some nasty stuff, which us in America, we know very well how that goes. Right. And so China has been able to avoid that by just staying in the shadows. That isn't happening more. So I think this war is the war that forces China to come from the shadows and start to put their troops on the ground in nations where they have interests. Going forward, if China wants to control another nation, they're not going to be able to do it in the shadows anymore. They're going to have to do it where everyone can see it. They're going to have to put their own troops on the ground. They're going to have to do it by force. And if they don't do it that way, then they're not going to get it done. That's what's happening right now. And that's what this war is going to force. So I don't know what happens after that, but I do believe it brings a more peaceful world because I think transparency is important. I don't think America, China, Russia, anyone should be puppeteering another nation to fight another nation. If America has a problem with Iran, then we should fight Iran directly. What we should not do is prop up somebody else and have them do it while we sit in the background, which is what we've been doing. We've been propping up Israel and others to attack Iran, even though our problem is with Iran. Well, we finally do it ourselves. We've been doing it ourselves the whole time, just from the shadows, and that creates instability, and it's not right. Because when you really think about it, the people on the ground it's a head game. They're getting psyoped, right? You've got these big countries on the outside sending their intelligence agencies in. They're paying certain people this or that. They're educating other people. They're creating opposition, right? Spies and stuff. It's torturous to the people who live in these nations. It's not right that we do that, even though we're going to do it. Every nation does it. Every nation has spies. Everyone does spies. That will never change. True. But the way in which that we've done it in the past has been wrong. It's created instability, and China has sort of copied us, and they've been doing the same thing there, and it's creating instability. So I think if we can get everybody above board and we can see up front who's really doing what and where, that will, I think, fix a lot of problems. That will that'll allow us to be way more stable, because right now our instability is coming from lack of transparency, lack of accountability, corruption. Like, that's where we're getting hurt. Election interference, right? That's where we're getting hurt. So all of those things get fixed with transparency. It's like free. It's just the sunlight. Just open the window shades, man. Open the curtains up. That's all you got to do. You don't have to pay any money. You just open it up. Right? That's sort of what I do on the off ramp here, guys. I'm trying to open it up a little. Let's see. Yeah, Glenford, you're correct. So Glenford is saying the regular Guyanese aren't benefiting from the oil revenue. Not right now, because the way that the contract was designed with Exxon, it wasn't designed for Guyana to get a huge amount of revenue up front. It was designed for Guyana to cover all of the cost that it costs to be able to drill for the oil up front. And then once that was paid for, then Guyana gets this huge amount of money coming in, rolling in. And that, Glenford, is the issue. So right now the people of Guyana aren't seeing that exponential, but it's coming, and it's coming faster than you thought, because oil prices are doubling right now. Right? Hey, Alexis. Yeah. Yep. I know, Glenford. I want to come to Guyana. I need to come soon. Hi, Jamal. How are you? Yes, Jason, all stakeholders. That's the thing. That's the thing I've been saying from the beginning, right? Yes, in the past, the United States we have abused our relationship with different countries in the region. Yes, this is all documented. Yes, I know this. I know this very, very well. I'll show you something. Hold on. Okay, let me show you. I love this book. If you guys know Walter Rodney, Guyanese, Walter Rodney, he's a Guyanese guy. He was a genius. What Walter Rodney, a lot of what Walter Rodney was saying was true, and he was assassinated because of it. And the type of assassinations that happen to people like Walter Rodney is what has led to a lot of the dysfunction that we see today. And it was a shoot off of, American interference with stuff, right? And I think a lot of people who are upset about how America has handled certain situations in the region, I think you guys all should know something is really important. I discovered it when I was writing Gold Bar Bob. I discovered that, And if you guys can, go ahead. It's online as you can get it as an ebook, Gold Bar Bob, The Downfall of the Most Corrupt US Senator. There's parts in the book that explain US foreign policy in the Caribbean, and that it wasn't coming from the White House. So the policy that you guys in Guyana have been living under and from the United States, it really wasn't coming from the White House. It was coming from outside elements who were being instigated mainly by the Cuban exile group, the anti Fidel Castro groups. And a lot of these guys were took part in the Bay of Pigs. They were trained by the CIA, and they turned into terrorists straight up. They assassinated uh, a Chilean politician in Washington D.C. with a car bomb. They fired RPGs at the United Nations. They assassinated Cuban diplomats in the streets of New York City. Okay, we don't talk about this history. It's all in the book. We don't talk about this much, but that group of Americans is who was really that's who crafted the foreign policy that you guys have all lived under. It wasn't the White House in the United States. It wasn't the Congress. It was an elite group of individuals who have had deep ties to the Caribbean and who have been involved with different wars there and drugs and everything else. And they, over the years, became very powerful within our government, so powerful that it looks like basically they run it all. Like it looks like our policy is their policy, right? And so, sort of, a lot of my work over the years, going back to 2008, has been to dismantle this group. Yeah, little by little, one by one. Okay, Bob Menendez was one of the leaders in the group. Other members of Congress who are in Congress right now in the United States are part of this group. There were billionaires in this group, a guy named R. Allen Stanford. Like, this thing is sprawling, okay? But it is not the American people. And I think maybe that's one of the reasons why I have this connection to the people of Guyana and to the people of the Caribbean is that, I have been able to see that, wait a minute, we were asleep at the wheel. The American people were asleep at the wheel for the Caribbean for so long. And while we were asleep, an elite group of very corrupt government people and others got in there, and they really messed up our foreign policy, and they really messed up a lot of nations in the region. And what they did has made all of us Americans look bad. Well, I'm here to tell you, I'm not one of those guys. And most Americans are not these people. But I am giving voice to this problem because no one else is. And I hope the people of Guyana and the people of Caribbean can hear what I'm saying and understand that, wait a minute, America is more complicated than we thought. That actually most of people in America do not want the policies that you guys have lived under, living next to us. Or we don't want it. Most Americans had no clue what our government was doing down there. But with that said, accountability is coming to these guys slowly but surely. I'm one of the people bringing some of it through the media space. So that's why I really support all your support, guys. Well, I really, really love your support. Your support means a lot because, unbeknownst to you guys, what you do is you connect the work I do and the research I do to the real world, and where I can see and hear from you to know really what's going on. So when you guys are hearing my analysis and everything I'm telling you about what's happening, a lot of it is coming from you because of what you're sharing with me, right? And I appreciate that, guys. It means a lot because it's really helping me in my mission. What I wanted to do since I've been a kid is make this right in this region, because it was hard on me as a kid having to live in, drug infested neighborhoods that were just violent and run down. But to know that it wasn't just me, it was kids all over the Caribbean. We all, even though I was in Miami, what I went through with that stuff, a lot of kids went through in other countries all throughout the Caribbean. We were all in the same boat, and we're all adults now, right? And a lot of us are doing what we can, and I'm doing my part. And so I really appreciate you guys supporting me. It means a lot. It's not easy taking a jump out like this on just saying, hey, and trusting, your work and trusting what you do. But I'm trusting it. I'm trusting you guys too. So just continue, giving me the comments, guys, and continue to, just participate. 'Cause I think this is going to get bigger and bigger as time goes on. With that said, man, guys, thank you for joining me again. Have a great weekend. I'll be on Facebook and stuff over the weekend, but have a great weekend. This was an amazing week. I'll be back Monday. In the meantime, this was the Off Ramp with Thomas Jason Anderson. I appreciate it, guys. Have a good night.
Now I'ma put it down like that. I'm leaving, I ain't coming back. You don't like the way I act anyway. You really don't have to react. Don't try to change my mind, in fact. Honey, I've already packed all my stuff. We're no longer kids, let's move on. And you are not my kid, so I'm done. Please don't make me pull my gun. Sorry boy, I can't be the one. You know it, yeah. Nothing lasts forever. You know that a change will make it better. You know that nothing lasts forever. You know that, yeah, change will make it better. There's no one to blame, you see. Maybe we're not meant to be. There are plenty more fish in the sea anyway. Every day's a different thing, so I'm not into wedding rings. It ain't personal, it's the way I think. Yeah. You know it, nothing lasts forever. And you know change will make it better.